Combustion, one that I've covered many times previously. 3 different methods of combustion is required on every single trip. Whether or not that be lighters, ferro rods, bow drills, just make sure you take decent methods of combustion with you and also include pre-prep tinder. Okay, so the CEFA container is supposed to cover a range of things from bags, dry bags, water containers, other such items such as Tupperware tubs. The emphasis on this video, however, is going to be metal containers, dry bags and hydration bladders, as these are what I would recommend to the beginner wild camper first and foremost. And the reason behind that is because every single piece of kit ideally should have more than one use. A dry bag, for example, can be used as a pillow, water container and an item for keeping valuables dry. Metal flasks and cups because they can be cooked from and consumed from. And hydration bladders because they're pretty sick. CEFA cordage. Cordage can come under a range of different things such as naturally made cordage, you can use paracord, regular string, you can also use bungees. Now my recommendation to the beginner camper is going to be paracord. And the reason behind this is because it can do a multitude of different jobs aside from just shelter building. It can be used to keep gear in order, it can be used in first aid, and it can also be used to protect tools and equipment such as the axe handle wrap. Now this isn't to try and discredit other methods of lashing such as bungee cords. I've used bungee cords a lot in the past, predominantly in the forces, however there's not much you can do with those that you can't do with paracord, but you can do significantly more with paracord. That's my tip, get familiar with paracord. So first on the list of C's is cover. Absolutely essential, whether or not it's a natural formation, whether or not you're bringing it with you as a tent, tarpaulin, whether you build it yourself from natural resources from the ground, or whether or not it's something like a bothy or a ruin or something like this. Absolutely essential. Although one thing that I will always recommend to a beginner would be the DD hammock range of shelters. This includes tents, tarpaulins and hammocks. They're very small, very light, you do pay a little bit more, however, you get what you pay for. Just make sure you string it up right so your tarp doesn't end up smacking you in the bollocks come morning time. Here we go, so the beard's favourite. Cutting tools, axes, pen knives, knives, neck knives. Whatever your fetish might be, it is imperative that you take one with you on your excursions. You'll find yourself using yours for a multitude of uses such as fire preparation, creating kindling and tinder, cutting down cordage for when you're creating shelters, and on the odd occasion when rum takes its toll and you have an accident, first aid. Always handy to have a blade. Now with that being said, there's no point in having a blade if it's dull as fuck, so it's also handy to carry a method of sharpening. Combustion, one that I've covered many times previously. 3 different methods of combustion is required on every single trip. Whether or not that be lighters, ferro rods, bow drills, just make sure you take decent methods of combustion with you and also include pre-prep tinder.